Violent, cruel, and bloodthirsty, Sortiara is completely insane. She resents having to be partnered with the author during their ordeal, viewing them as an obstacle to be destroyed at worst and an annoyance at best. She makes no attempts to hide her madness, openly telling the author to his face that she intends to betray and murder him the moment they are no longer useful to her. However, as the story advances, she opens up to the author when he caresses her back, when she is painfully experiencing her arm's mutation because of the many sacrifices she had made. She begins looking at the author as a trustworthy companion and begins to show a more tender side of herself by crying at his side and acknowledging her joy when he touched her. Her affection to the author grows so much that she even takes a near-fatal blow for him, so powerful that she collapses from her injuries. After the sorcerer fends off the monster raid and comes back to check up on her, she confesses that she indeed looks up to him as a real friend. And in fact, the author was indeed her very first friend. She tells the author that she is relieved that he is her partner before taking down a harpy. The author, too, had become quite attached to Sortiara. Their warm friendship was short-lived, though, as the final part of the ordeal was to kill their partner to be accepted into Avalon. The fight begins, and Sortiara tells the player that she will kill him in an instant. A fierce battle ensues in the temple where they defeated the Archfiend. Sortiara proves to be a powerful opponent, but the author overpowers her at the end. Sortiara falls into the floor and asks the player to not pity her. If the player tries to save her, she will get back on her feet and start fighting until she collapses again, begging the player to kill her. After the player had sacrificed her, her soul flows into the author's right arm, morphing it into a divine or dark arm, depending on how many sacrifices or saves the player had made. But her role in the game does not end there. As Soul speaks to the author, revealing more of her true feelings, her memories become his, and her bloodlust invades the author's body, forcing him to kill and kill to satiate her bloodlust. She speaks to him through his arm, begging for forgiveness for cursing his life. The author, however, does not blame her and remembers her with love and sadness, as he could not tell her that he felt for her the same as she did. And so, after meeting with Magusar, the author starts looking for the sacred chalice in order to heal himself from her madness. In the later chapters of the game, the cause of her bloodlust and madness are revealed when the player sacrifices Ilakebra. That Sortiara is in fact a clone of Ilakebra, created by the sacred chalice, when she was forfeiting the will to live after she was abandoned by Magusar. The sacred chalice appeared before her, and at first, Ilakebra was to wish for Magusar's return, but she knew that she would live with the fear of losing him again, so she wished for another self, who would be born like a normal person and keep her company. Thus, Sortiara was born as a child and was adopted by Ilakebra until she became of age. Ilakebra grew tired of Sortiara, and on times she was even going to kill her, but she backed down because by all means she was her dear little daughter. Everything went well between the two until Ilakebra decided to stop lying to Sortiara and tell her of the true nature of her birth. The truth proved to be too much to bear and made Sortiara go mad and despise the world she lived in because she was, as a matter of fact, not a human, not even a monster. Thus her bloodlust was born, and she left Ilakebra and aspired to join Avalon, where she met the author. After uncovering the truth, her soul finally found peace when Ilakebra was sacrificed by the player. Her voice echoes one final time as she confesses her love for the author, with a broken voice calling out to him in grief and gratitude, as her memories had caused him so much suffering. Her voice is never heard in the game again, but her role remains important as the author learns from his and her mistakes and begins to value friendship and partnership overall. On her extra text-only chapters, her voice calls out to the author and tries to tell him that if they had met on other terms, they might have been able to start a romantic relationship before stopping herself and going on another topic. She had her hood on most of the time, but official artwork has shown that she is blonde. She was a very powerful sorcerer with an unbendable will and great power, as said by the author, since her soul caused him intense hallucinations and terrible rage fits. The only friend she ever had was the author, and she was in love with him. quite possibly the only person that she ever truly loved, as her madness left her almost completely devoid of love for anyone, even for herself.